Good morning, everybody. It's a wonderful time today again. Welcome to this morning's market review. My name is Akondiola Komi Joshua, also known as Josh FX. It's a wonderful Friday, and yes, today hopefully we're going to be making some good profits for ourselves like every other day. So quickly before I move on, use this opportunity to acknowledge each and every one of us. Good morning, Ale Bode Sedu. Good morning, Anthony Onyedika. Good morning to you, Bola Fadiji. Good morning, Brown Wakiola. Good morning, Chukwemeka Anoze. Good morning, Ekpemski. Good morning, Elijah Ejiagbasi. Good morning, Elisha Adigbite. Good morning, Felix Anyu. Good morning, Frederick Omoko. Good morning, Gideon Tabubu. All right, so good morning to you at Joe Mek. Yes, good morning to Madu Timothy. Good morning, Nnamdi Mbata. Good morning, Oluwakemi Omo Jayogbe. Okay. Then good morning, Rotimi Lamid. Yes, good morning to every one of us. Okay, so if you didn't hear me call your names, it means you're just joining us, but all the same, good morning to you and appreciate it for joining this morning's market review. Okay. All right. Yes, I can see it from my name. Yeah, Oli Akim, good morning to you. Felix Ayin, good morning to you. Yes, thank you very much. Nice hearing from me. Okay, nice hearing from you too. It's good you're part of us this morning. Yes, it's very interesting. So yes, a quick one. First thing first to acknowledge, after acknowledging, I would like to know if everybody is on the same page with me and you're able to hear me clearly, loud and clear from your end. So I would like us to just come to the chat section and write it there loud and clear. So I will know that you're able to get me from your own end. So I will know that there's no technical issue from my own end. All right, Felix, and you're saying loud and clear. Thank you very much. I still need all our response to know that yes, uh you can hear me clearly. So please, any other person, just come to the to the chat section, drop it there for me loud and clear, so I'll know that yes, you're able to hear me loud and clear without any glitch. So I'll know that technically from my own end, everything is fine. I'm only receiving one response. Okay, Mr. Ezekiel Bassi. Okay, yes, it means you're telling me yes, meaning you can hear me loud and clear. Oluwakemi, thank you very much, loud and clear. So it means if you're unable to hear me now, the fault is not from my end. So I'll kindly advise you look at your location. And one of the things I would say you should do is maybe you switch off your device and on it again. Yes, that's one. Then secondly, you could try or can try changing your location. You understand? Try changing your location. That its own can also help you to hear me clearly. You understand? All right. So thank you very much on that. Okay. So that's that for that. So right away, we move into the real deal to see what is actually happening. You know, a lot has been happening in the market these days. But yeah, let's look at what is happening on the market. And first thing first, we'll look at the fundamental part of the market and see what exactly is happening. Let's look at the fundamental part of the market and see what exactly is happening, how the market has been moving. Has it been on the positive part of it or the negative part? Let's just see. And hopefully we are able to see some positive move in the market and every other thing. Okay. So first thing first, looking at the fundamental part, I'll be sharing my screen from my own end here. So yes, I want to believe yes, everybody is able to see my screen from their own end now. I want to believe that. Okay, so this morning, yes, this morning on forexfactory.com, yeah, we have the retail sales on the UK that came out, yeah, UK. That's around 8 a.m. exactly when we started. It came out negative and well, I believe we're going to be seeing the response on the charts too immediately. It says Great Britain, October 2025. It says the quantity of goods bought, volume in retail sales is estimated to have risen by 1.1% in the 3 months of to October 2025 compared with the 3 months to July 2025. And it now says clothing stores sales rounded off a strong performance in those 3 months, peaking in September, while computer and telecommunication retailers rules across. Okay, so you want to have more information on that, you can just take your time to go to forexfactory.com, click on it, and you see more information on that. But based on what we're saying, it came out negative for them. on GBP. Now, the next news we'll be expecting is by 9:15 a.m. And that news is coming on the on euros. It's coming out on euros. That's the flash manufacturing PMI and the French flash service PMI. Then by 9:30 a.m., we have news coming out on the German flash manufacturing PMI and the German flash service PMI. Then we also have ECB President Lagarde. She's also going to be speaking exactly 9:30 a.m. So that particular one too. Now, looking at it, it's a high impact news. And for the mere fact that the ECB President is going to be speaking around that time too, it means it's also dicey, it's delicate. But yes, which means the market will surely pick a direction from the way it is, but nobody knows where it's going to go because this is news. So we just expect it to pick a particular direction, and hopefully we are able to follow that direction it picks. Then by 10:30 a.m., we're expecting news again on the GBP, that's the flash manufacturing PMI and flash service PMI. That's by 10:30. It's also a high impact news, and hopefully it's able to move the market. Then 1:40 p.m., we expect the S&B chairman, Schlegel, speak. Okay. That's more or less like their CBN governor. He's going to be speaking, and we expect the market to also move around. Then by 2:30, we are having news coming out on car. That's the core retail sales and the retail sales month to month. Then 3:45 p.m., we have flash manufacturing PMI and the flash service PMI coming out on USD. Then the last news we'll be having for today, which is the medium impact news, is also coming out on USD. That's the revised University of Michigan consumer sentiment. Okay. So these are all the major news that are coming out today. And we expect it to move the market one way or the other. So one of the things we advise is you look at you need to wait for the actual, because the actual is the real deal. The actual tells you what to do, whether to buy or to sell. So if it comes out green, it's telling you to buy. If it comes out as red, it's telling you to sell. When it comes out as black, it is neutral. And we also tell you that neutral means partial buy. You understand? Can also be termed to be what? Partial buy. So you just need to look at it. And when we have multiple news coming out in this, let's take for example, like 9:30, where we have 3 news coming out on one instrument, or even by 10:30, that we have 2 news coming out on one instrument. Now, depending if it comes out as green and red, it's conflicting, then you need to buy and sell. And well, one of the advice we can give to you is around that moment, you can look at the chart and see whichever direction it picks, that's what you do, you follow. That's the main thing. But if he's telling you buy and sell at the same time, we have to advise you to a kind of, okay, look at where the market will most likely tilt towards. Nobody's sure of what the market is going to do. That's why you need to wait and see. Once you see the direction it takes, then you follow. Okay, so that's that for the news that is going to be coming out today. Yesterday, let's even look at the news that came out yesterday and see. So yesterday we had important news coming out on USD. That's the average hourly earnings and non-farm NFP. Came out yesterday, and yes, you discover around 2:30 the market really moved around that time. You understand? Some of the instruments went down while some went up, but looking at the actual came out negative and positive and so the like. So it affected the market the way it wanted to, but one way or the other, for some of us, for some of us or everybody, I don't know, we're able to make use of this opportunity. So the same way it is, we should be able to make use of some of this opportunity. Even though it came out in mixed colors, it picked a direction yesterday. So some people were able to follow that direction. For those that were on instrument that were selling, they were able to sell. And for those that saw the instrument that was buying, they were able to what? To buy. Okay, so that's that. Then, but for today, these are the informations coming out. You understand? All right. So let's look at the currency strength meter and see what the currency strength meter is saying for each currencies. Okay. So I'm looking at it now. As of this morning, we can see that the weakest of all instruments is CAD. And the reason why I'm saying is CAD is because it has the red arrow indicating on it, showing that it's still dropping, followed by USD. Now, USD does not have the red arrow. But yes, if you're looking at it based on what we're seeing on the screen now, we'll say CAD and USD is the weakest. But because CAD has the red arrow indicating on it, that's why I'm saying it's the weakest, followed by USD. Then we have GBP, and it has the green arrow on it, is indicating that it's gaining strength. We also have AUD, followed by AUD, then JPY. We can see the green arrow on it showing that it's gaining strength. We have euros here showing that it's gaining strength. So you can see the green arrow on it. The strongest of all instruments is NZD as of this moment. That's what we are saying as of now. Now, refresh it again. You can see that JPY and euro is not showing, indicating any green arrow again. Then CHF is indicating the green arrow. Now, on this particular currency, strengthmeter.org, you have to refresh it yourself to see what it's saying. But we have another currency strength meter that automatically refreshes itself every 10 seconds. That's strength zone.com, you see. And the interesting thing is it has a time frame. You can put it on different time frame and it will show you what is happening. So look at it. As of this moment, on 1 hour time frame, we have euros as the strongest, followed by NZD, then USD. Then we have the CHF, AUD, we have CAD, we have GBP, then JPY is the weakest. That's what is showing us. So it means every 10 seconds, it refreshes itself. So as of this moment, this is our currency strength meter. This is what is showing us on the currency strength meter on 1 hour time frame, dependent. If it's 4 hours, you see a different thing. If it's daily, you see a different thing. So yes, that's the way it is as of now. But let's look at the real chart and see what is happening. Let's see what the chart is telling us to do and look at some of the zones that we are able to see market down. So we'll be expecting, if the market is able to go above or below a particular zone, we can either take a buy or sell. Okay, so let's look at that and know what is happening. And with us, please. Okay. All right, I'm with us, please. Okay. All right, so first thing first, I'm going to be starting with currencies, and like we all know, start with Euro USD. Starting with Euro USD, yes, that will be the first instrument we'll be looking at for today. Start with currencies, after which from there we'll move to commodities, and from commodities we'll move to what? Indices. Yes. Okay, so looking at what we are seeing now as of this moment, we'll discover that on the 1 hour time frame, on the 1 hour time frame as of this morning, we can see that yes, price is trying to push up. You know, as of yesterday, price looking at what the market did at a point, it was more or less like it came down, ranged a little, came back down, went up and came back. But in all those movements, a zone was actually formed. A zone was formed, and that's what we'll be looking at as of now. This is it. Okay, this is that zone that was formed here. If you can see, this is the zone that was formed here as of yesterday. Now, price has been having issues here because all the time that price got there, in fact, if I'm to put it based on the week, this is it, got to this point, got rejected, you understand? So price has been moving, but if we were to make it close, yes, this is the main point. Let's just say this. Let's put it like this. Okay, so this is one point, and this is another point here. This is another zone here. So these are the 2 points price got to and it got rejected. But if you want to make it tight, let's see if we can do that. This is it. And this is another one here. Okay. So we'll say these are the 2 points that price has created as a zone for us. But let's make it free a little bit. Let's give it some space. You understand? For price to breathe. Then we'll be able to pick our zones clearly. All right, so this is it. We can say if price is able to break above this point successfully, we should expect the market to what? To push up. But if that is not the case, if it respects that point, if price should respect this point, then we could have price going back down. You understand? So these are some of the things we need to understand. Just like I've always explained in class, for those that have the opportunity of coming to class, I make us to understand that once you're able to identify the zones, your area of risk, which is your entry point, is very easy to get. So now we are being able to see some of these zones, and for the mere fact that we're able to see this zone, what we're expecting is one of the two. Either price is able to break above this point successfully, and once it does that, we should then know that yes, price is looking for a way to go up or go down. Now, one of the things that makes it more interesting is when price breaks above this point and it does a retest to that same zone again, it's unable to break back into that point. rather it starts reversing, that's a good point of entry. Just take your trade, either a buy or a sell. And once it picks that direction, we know it's moving. But for now, these are the two zones. This is your resistance point and this is your support point. If price is able to break any of these zones, then we know that that's the exact direction price is going to take. Okay, so that's that on Euro USD. That's that on Euro USD. Let's look at the next instrument, which is USD JPY. Let's see what is happening on USD JPY. Okay. All right, so this is USD JPY. So for a while now, we discovered that USD has actually gone up. If you look at it, USD has gone up, and after that, it got to a particular zone here, which is the resistance point. As we can see, this is that zone that it got to. This is the highest point it got to, and it got rejected. From that point, it started coming down. And as of this morning, yes, we would have said this is the point, but we can see that price is already pushing. So let's put it around this point, because there's a likely zone here. Yes, around this point, there's a zone around this point. So you want to buy, you want to sell. One of the two must occur. Okay. One of these two must occur. Either it breaks above this point successfully, or it breaks below this zone. These are the 2 points. Either it breaks above or below this zone successfully. As far as it's still within this box, not outside it, then it's not going anywhere. But if it's able to break below this zone successfully, then we could be looking out for price to be bearish. You understand? But if that does not happen, it could just be a matter of a test, and after that, it passes back to the upside, goes up, push up, and break. And one of the things we need to understand is, for a while now, if you're looking at JPY has actually been weak. So it's been weak. So we could have price just doing a minor pullback here, and after that continues that bullish trend. You understand? Price has actually been weak on JPY for a very long time since their election and remaining. Price has been really, really weak. And well, based on opinion that I had with a colleague, I was just saying one of the reasons I just feel JPY has been weak would be as a result of it's more of like a political push. And why am I saying it's a political push? This is the first time in Japan that they are having a woman as prime minister, and yes, we might have all those political men, strong men trying to bring down the whole thing because they are having a woman. But well, let's see how it goes. If it's going to continue that way or there's going to be a reversal, one of the two is going to happen. Either it buys or it sells. So that's that on USD JPY. Okay, so let's look at USD CHF and see what exactly is happening on CHF. Let's see. Is it going up or it's coming down? All right. All right. So based on what we saw on CHF too, we saw it that CHF is already beginning to gain strength, and that's one of the reasons why you're seeing it. Yeah, it got to this high, you can see, and from this high now, price has actually been trying to push down. One of the things I want us to also note about CHF is this. Let's go to the higher time frame so we can see something. Okay. If you look at it from the high time frame, when we zoom in out, you discover that on USD CHF, you discover that price is more of a bearish move. This is on my monthly time frame. Been looking at it, you see that price has been coming down, and it has gotten, this is the lowest it ever got to in history. This is the lowest it ever got to in history. Okay, let's see. That's around 0.70519. That's the lowest it ever got to. Okay, but that's that. Let's come back to let's look at it even on the daily time frame. Based on what we're seeing on daily time frame, where it is now, let's zoom in a little bit. Can we see? Can we see? This is on a zone, and based on what we're seeing, it has respected that zone on the daily time frame. It's showing, giving us a sign that price wants to go down. That's what it's showing. It's giving a sign that price wants to go down. So price has actually gotten rejected. Look at it. It got here sometimes ago. At a point, it ranged around that point, came down, came back close to it, came down, got to that same point, came back, went a little bit above it to the next zone. Looking at it, went a little bit above it to the next zone, respected that point and came back. Now it's back to that same point again, touched it, Now it's coming back down. So we could say price wants to go down, but well, let's see. So let's just hold on and see what is going to happen. For those that want to join the train here, maybe you want to join the move, just hold on and see. We're going to be looking at it like if price is able to break above or below this point, it should give us a move. So one of the two here, is it going to break below this point or is going to respect this point and go up? That's just one of the drill there. The same way it is here. So one of the two, either it breaks below this point, or if it breaks below this point successfully, we know the next step to take. The other part is this point. It could respect this zone and gets rejected and goes back up. If we're able to break above this point, then we know the next step. Either it goes up or gets rejected there and comes back down. But one thing is for sure, it's going to pick a direction at the end of the day. Understand? So based on that, and I also advise us, when we talk about zones, we say looking at the zones from the higher time frame also helps you to know what the market is going to do. So based on what we've seen on the higher time frame, we could also deduce that yes, it's going to pick a particular direction at the end of the day. Okay, so that's that for USD CHF. Let's look at USD card. Let's see what is happening on USD card. And with us, USD card. USD card. Okay. Okay. USD card. After that, we look at GBP USD. Then we'll look at AUD USD. Then we'll look at NZD USD. Okay. All right. So that's that for now. Let's start with USD card. Let's see what is happening on USD card. Well, for USD card, it's been more or less like price going up, coming down, going up, coming down. I'm not shocked based on the fact that they've been having series of trade wars between themselves, the US and the Canadian economy. And based on what we're seeing now, we can see that on the daily time frame, this is on the daily time frame. If we really want to draw it, you'll discover that price has actually been moving up based on the trend we are seeing here. Price has been moving up on USD card. Okay. So based on what we're seeing, price has been moving up on USD card. Yes. I'm coming. Okay. Okay. So this is it. Price has been moving up on USD card. If we're going to look at it this way, or we can take it this way. So let me zoom in a little bit so we can see. Can we see it? Price has actually been moving up on USD card based on this trend on daily time frame. Even on weekly, you see that price has been moving up. You understand? So, and in that situation, it shows that USD has actually been the tough man of this move in that way, even on weekly and monthly time frame. You can see this is on monthly time frame. This is on monthly time frame. So if you're zooming in, you discover that at a point price came down to this point. So further reversed back up, and now there's been series of trade wars between them all. And you discover that this is on monthly time frame. You discover that price has actually had issues from this particular point. See, it's been having issues from this around this point. So it's one of the two. Either price goes up and breaks above this point, or around this point it could get rejected and comes back to this trend. If it breaks below this trend, yes, it would have a massive fall on USD card. But this is on monthly time frame, and for that to happen, it's going to take a very, very long time. You understand? So let's just look at it from the short time frame. Now, this is our daily time frame, and based on what we are seeing here, price is currently close to a zone here, very, very close to this zone. Very, very close to this zone. Can we see? So it's one of the two. Either it goes above this point or it reverses back down. So price is beginning to have issues around this point. But let's see on the lower time frame. On the lower time frame now. Okay, so coming back, coming. All right. So based on what we are saying, a zone has been created here and price is respecting this point. If you can see, price has had issues around this same point, opening and closing of candles, everything that pushed here. This is it. You understand? So, and as of this moment on this 1 hour, it came down to this point, is also ranging too. So one of the things I would advise is we should hold on and see what price is going to do based on what we're on this 1 hour time frame. Price is ranging here, right? So if price is ranging, our advice, we wait and see what is happening. You can see it clearly on 15 minutes based on what we are saying now. So you know that yes, price is actually ranging, it's moving sideways. Let me drag it for us to see. Okay, so this is point one, and this is the second point here, based on what we are saying on the 15 minutes. So what we advise is hold on, let the market correct itself, because we know that yes, for a ranging market, it signifies a correction zone. If once it's done correcting itself, it will pick a direction, and once it picks its direction, ours is to follow. You understand? It's more or less like your wish is my command. You understand? So we wait for the market to pick a direction. After that, we follow in that line. So that's that on the USD card. Let's look at GBP USD. Okay. All right. GBP USD it is an okay. So looking at it on GBP USD, this is on my daily time frame. You discover that price has been dropping on GBP USD based on the trend it's giving to us on the daily time frame now. And one of the interesting things I've seen is I'm saying here is this. This is it. Price has actually got to this high. It got rejected. You understand? This is the highest point it got as of this moment here on daily here. Got to this point, rejected, came back down, did a pullback around this point. Now it has respected and it's coming down. You can see, if you know what I'm talking about, this is like the higher high. They now did higher low. Then this is this lower high, lower low now. You can see. So there's every possibility price might want to do a pullback to the upside, then come back down again, going lower low again, below this point. That could be the new pattern because it's already giving us a curve here. You understand? So price could keep on dropping in that line. But this is on my daily time frame. Let's see what price wants to do on the 1 hour time frame. Let's see. So based on what we're seeing now, this is the fixed zone on your 1 hour time frame. This is the fixed zone on the 1 hour time frame. Yes. So price got to this point, has rejected, and it has gone back up. And okay. So it's one of the two here now. Price got to this high, got rejected. In fact, the point did it pushed it up to this point, but this is the main point where price got to and respected and is now dancing. So one of the two is going to happen. Either it breaks above this point, or it gets to that point and it gets rejected, comes back to this point. So it's one of these 2 points. Either it breaks above this point and continues in that line, or it reverses back, break below this point and continues in that line. You understand? So it's one of the two. Let's just wait and see. And one of the things we advise is the truth is when it comes to technicals, you have to be very, very patient. If price is price must meet your requirement. If it doesn't, if it doesn't meet your requirement, you have to wait. Tell you that waiting is a strategy when it comes to technicals. The patient dog is the fastest bull when it comes to technicals. You understand? That's technicals for you. You have to wait. You must wait, wait, wait. And yeah, if you look at most successful traders around the world, one of their strategies is waiting. Learn to wait. In fact, even in life itself, generally in whatever it is you're doing, you are advised to wait, to be patient, see what is going to happen first before you strike. So in situations like this too, we need to wait and see what is going to happen first before we strike. And yes, if you want to look at it based on trend that we are seeing on this 1 hour, you can see that price actually have moved in this line for a while. Looking at what we're saying, can you see from this point to this point? So this has actually been the trend. It's been moving in this line here. So if it breaks below this trend too, that could also be another factor that yes, price might want to get down to this point. But let's wait and see what price is going to do. That's the real deal. Okay, so the next instrument we'll be looking at is AUD USD. Let's see AUD USD. Let's see what is happening on AUD USD. Okay, so looking at AUD USD from the higher time frame, this is on my daily time frame. So we discovered that for a while now, price actually went up and it's more or less like it's been dancing between some points. Okay, so let me mark it out. This is the highest it got to on this daily time frame here. Around this point, this is the highest it got. But since then, pushed back down and it's been around this zone here and this point. So this has been the 2 points it's been moving on the daily time frame. All what it's been doing has just been around this point. After it got back into this point, it rejected back into this point. It has just been between this point. And we can see that, yes, it tested this zone severally and respected it and came back down. And one of the things I want us to understand is this. When you see the market price hitting a particular zones consistently, one thing is for sure, it's getting ready to either break that point, getting ready to either break that point. But if that same zone is able to reject price for a long time, there could be a massive reversal. You understand? But this is what it's doing on the daily time frame. So let's look at it on the 1 hour time frame. If you look at it on the 1 hour time frame, based on what we are saying, you see that price has actually been dropping too. You understand? Price has been dropping. So based on what we're saying now, this is the current zone on 1 hour time frame. And this is another point here. So it's between these 2 points on this 1 hour zone. So it's either it breaks above this point. Okay. If it's able to break above this point successfully, then we should expect a bullish move. But if it respects that zone, and gets rejected, then we are having price coming back down to test this particular point. And if it's able to break below this particular point, then we could expect a bearish move on AUD USD. One of the two will surely happen. Okay? One of the two will surely happen. All right, so we'll move to the next one. Which is NZD USD. Let's see what is happening on NZD USD. All right. NZD USD it is. Okay, so an NZD USD, let's look at it on daily time frame too. Woo! Based on what we're seeing on daily time frame, it's been more of a bearish move. Can you see? Lower low, lower high, lower low, lower low, lower high, lower low. Here it did a little bit of, went a little bit higher than this, came back to this point to continue that same trend, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high. Now this. Okay. So if we are following this trend, it's telling us that price is moving down on NZD USD. That's just the blunt truth on NZD USD. Based on the trend we're seeing, it's giving us the bearish trend that price is coming down. So if you're looking at it even on 1 hour time frame too, it means we should be looking at it coming down. That's what it's showing us. You understand? But you know, one interesting thing is one thing for the market to show you this direction, and is another thing for it to move in that line. So it could show us that and reverse back to the other side and continues in that line. So this is 1 point. Yeah, price already around this point here. So it's one of these 2 points. Let's see. Yes, there's a zone around that point. So it's one of the 2. Price could get rejected around this point. Yes. But yes, at the same time, price could still break that point because we have other zones even at the top here or around this point. But one of the things I'll be looking at is since price is giving us a bearish move. So we could look at, okay, we could say if price is able to get to this point, you understand? It's dependent on whichever strategy you want to use. There are different opinions. You could be waiting for price here. Since it's already giving us that bearish trend, you could wait for price here to come and meet you, then go down with you based on the fact that we've seen that it's giving us lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high. You understand? Okay, so look at it around this point. There's a zone here, you understand? So we could wait for price to come pick us here and continue in that bearish move. It's dependent. At the same time, price could get to this point and even break above this point. So that's just the price to get to this point and break above this point that you're seeing here. Yes, price could get to this point, break above this point and continue moving to the upside. But one of the 2 is going to happen. Either price is able to go up and break above this point successfully, or it gets rejected and continues moving. But on 1 hour too, we can see this is on our 1 hour time frame. Price is already having issues, struggling around this point. So one of the 2 is going to happen. Either it breaks above this point or not. But for you to see this zone here, you can go to your 15 minutes time frame. You see it. This is it. That's where price is having issues. Might not be able to break above it and continues back in that bearish move. One of the two is actually going to happen. Now, for the bearish side, if it's able to get to this point and it breaks below this point, then we could have price moving down continuously. Okay, so that's just one of the things that we look at in this market. Just be able to identify these zones. Once you're able to identify these zones, your area of entry becomes very easy based on structures and patterns we are seeing on the chart. Okay, so that's that for NZD USD. So it's time to go to commodities now. Let's look at silver. Okay, so let's go there. Let's go there. Let's look at what is happening. Let's look at this instrument. We look at silver. Then we open silver for us. Then we look at wheat. Let's see what is happening on wheat. Okay. Let's look at okay, let's see. Let's look at coffee. I'll look at corn. Okay, then we look at oil. Let's look at oils. I'm not going to forget that. Let's look at oils too. Okay. Interesting. So start with silver. Let me start with silver. Okay, silver it is. Let's see what is happening on silver. So based on what we're seeing on silver, we discover that silver is actually dropping. Let's look at it. So this is on my daily time frame. The highest it ever got to was here. Coming. Yeah, so wow. Interestingly, if you look at it on daily time frame, based on what we're seeing, it's more or less like he did a double top around this point, if I'm able to see it clearly. Yeah, so price got rejected, came back. Now this is it, got this, and it's coming back down. But all the same, this is one safe haven, and we know it based on what we've seen in a long while. It has actually pushed up. So price is just trying to stabilize itself here, trying to gather itself, arrange itself to see if all those movement is actually right. But now looking at it from the 1 hour time frame, based on what we've seen, price came down, did a pull back up, now it's coming back down. It could still continue in that bearish move based on what we're seeing on the 1 hour time frame. It could come down to as low as this particular zone. Nobody's really sure, but yes, around this point, this is on daily time frame. It could get down to this point. So if it's able to break below this point, we should look at it that price wants to continue in that line, or it gets to this point and it gets rejected. This is one very strong point that we can look out for on the 1 hour time frame. This is it. This is what we're seeing on 1 hour time frame. Okay. Yes, but currently where it is now is beginning to go low because this was the last zone it formed around that point. Okay, so on my 1 hour time frame, this was the last zone it got to, and we can see that price is already within that point now on the 1 hour time frame, and price is having issues around that point. So based on what we're saying, if price is able to break below this point successfully, it could continue in that line, or if price is unable to do that and it gets rejected around this point, we could have price reversing back to the upside. So looking at what we are seeing here, there's a strong point here. Price is already struggling here. So one of the two is going to happen. Either it breaks below or it continues in that line. And if it breaks below it, yes, we could have price getting to as low as this point too. Now around this point, one of the two will happen. Either price gets rejected and reverses back up, or it breaks this zone and continues in that bearish move. Okay, so that's that on silver. Let's look at wheat. Let's see what is happening on wheat. Okay, wheat. All right, so on wheat now, yes, let's look at it on daily time frame. So yes, it got to this high. Now we can see that wheat is dropping in price. Yes, based on what we're seeing, 1, 2, 3. In fact, in the last 2 days, it's been coming down. As of this morning, when price will open again, it gapped down, and we can see that price is giving us that strong bearish move. But where if currently, based on what we're seeing on the 1 hour candle now, what is this showing us? It's showing us that okay, so it's not really giving us a sweet direction where it is now. You can see this is on my 15 minutes time frame. When it got to as low as this point, price has been struggling between this point. We could say it's ranging, but because of the gap in here, we can't really see it's really, really clear based on what we're seeing. You understand? We can't really say it's clear. But yes, there could be based on the fact that price has gapped down here now, there could be a real surge for price to try to go back and cover for that. But at the same time, not all gappings are covered. You understand? Not all gappings are covered. For some, yes, it could be. For some, no. It's dependent on the reaction of what is happening in the economy of the highest producer of this particular commodity. That's one. Some of another decision that could affect it could be interest rate policies of the country, yeah, and maybe tariff that is being placed on some of these commodities. Okay, so these are some certain things that could affect the price of this commodity. So one of the two is going to happen. Either price is able to break below this part successfully, and if it breaks below this part successfully, then we could have a bearish move. You understand? But if that is not the case and it respects this particular zone where it is, we could have price reversing back to the upside. We could have price reversing back to the upside around this point. Okay. So, well, that's that on wheat. Let's look at coffee. Let's look at coffee. Okay. All right, so sorry for that. Just a little glitch, but I'm back online now. The next instrument we'll look at is coffee. Let's see what is happening on coffee. Coffee. Okay, so this is coffee. Let's look at it on the higher time frame. So on the higher time frame now, we'll see that we'll discover that price of coffee is really looking like it's giving us that sideways move on daily time frame. But if you're looking at it on 1 hour, let me zoom out so we see, you discover that price is also coming down, pushed up. As of this point now, is it like price is coming down? Okay, so this is it. If price is actually going to go down, there's a zone around this point. So if price is able to break below this point, we should look at it that price wants to go down. This is our area of risk. One of the two is expected. Either it breaks above below this point, and if it doesn't, and it respects this point, it means it could keep on going back up. You understand? It could reject back to the upside. So this is our strong area of risk. So if price is able to break below this part successfully, we could have that continuation move and that bearish push. Let's look at corn. Corn. This is corn. Okay. I'm on corn now. Wow. So one of the things I want us to also know is this: whenever you're seeing a major strong push like this, a long candle like this, most of the time it's fundamentals. It's fundamentals. And price has been pushing down on corn for a while. So this is it. On the daily time frame, it has gone up. If we are to draw the trend, you discover that price has moved from this point up to this point. Yes, based on what we are seeing. And yes, after that, it has broken this trend. So one of the two is going to happen. One of the two is going to happen based on what we are saying from this point. Is price going to break below this part or it's going to reverse back up? That's one of the two. This is on my daily time frame, but if you look at it, yes. So based on what we are saying, price has gone down as low as this particular zone here. So it's one of the two that is going to happen. It's going to way below it or it's going to reverse back to the upside. So this is our area of risk. If price is able to break below this part, then it could continue in that same line. But you know, the highest producer of this particular commodity is the US. Now, some of the decisions in US too will also determine what is happening on this instrument, their tariff and yes, their tariff, interest rate, and the likes would also determine what is going to happen. But if it's able to go below this point, we should expect a bearish move on corn. But if that is not the case, we could expect a bullish move on this same instrument. So this is our area of risk. Is it going below or going up? One of the two. And we can see that price is struggling here. Okay. All right. Let's look at oils. Let's look at oils. Let's look at oils. Let's see what is happening on oils. All right, so this is oil, and based on what we are saying, price of oil has actually been pushing down. Even on daily time frame, we can see it's been giving us that bearish move. The way it's been coming down, it's been coming down from this point. It's giving us that bearish move. So on the daily time frame, there's a zone around this. This is one of those zones that price will be looking at. We could expect it to get to or rejects back to the upside. On my 1 hour time frame now, we can see, are we still expecting it to push down based on what we are seeing on past actions? Yes, we could still expect it to push down. There's a zone here based on what we are seeing from the last time. This is it around this point. Price had issues here. So let's go back. Let's move it forward and see what is going to happen. So if price is able to push below this particular section, coming, let me, okay. Price is able to break below this particular section, we could expect a bearish move. But if it respects that same zone, price could get to that point as a test and it gets rejected back to the upside, then we could have a bullish move. We could have a bullish move in that line. So one of the two is going to happen. Either it breaks below or it goes back up. So one of these two is going to happen here. You understand? So let's just watch out and see. This is our area of risk on this particular instrument. Let's see. Let's wait and see what is going to happen. This on, that's that on oils. Okay. All right. Okay. Vico Woosby, you said, but you already reviewed oils. I'm just doing oils, Vico Woosby, please. So don't worry, I'm going to check all the instrument, please. Don't rush me. Let me take it one step at a time, please. Thank you. Yes. All right. So, Benga Stan, you're saying we should look at gold. All right, let's just look at gold. Yeah, let's look at gold. Let's analyze it also and see what is happening on gold. Then from there, we'll move to indices. Let's see what is happening on gold. All right, I'm with us. This is gold. Okay, so on gold too, we can see that okay, price is actually not predictable based on what it's doing now. You understand? Now it has gotten this, it's around this zone here. This is one zone here. There's still another zone below this point. So these are 2 points that we are seeing. So one of the two is actually going to happen. Either it breaks below this point and continues in the likes of this bearish move that it has taken here, or it respects this point and reverses back up. But if it breaks below these points, we could also be looking at this point. The price is going to get here. You understand? So, and if it gets to this point, it could get rejected or go back up. Nobody really knows what it's going to do. But based on what it has been doing in past few days, it's been going up and coming down. We can't really say that it's predictable that this is what it's going to do because see, based on what happened, the last time it got to this point, it reversed back to the top side. Now it's coming back to that same side. So we could be looking at it that it might do the same thing. Once it gets to this point, it's going to reverse back to the upside. But let's hold on and see what exactly is going to happen on this instrument. Is it going to come down or reverse back up? Nobody knows, but let's wait and see. Based on the zones we are saying, it's going to do one of the two. Okay, so that's that on gold. Now let's go to the index market. Let's look at the index market. Let's see what is happening on the index market. First thing first, we look at US 30. From US 30, we go to US 100. Okay, US 30. Then we look at D42. We look at US 2002. We look at US we look at US. Okay, let's look at US 500 too. Okay, with us. All right. So first thing first, we start looking at US 30. Let's see what is happening on US 30. You know, these are all the US index market, and well, want to believe they will always have almost the same move. You understand? Let's see what is happening on this instrument. Okay. Then after that. All right. US 30 it is. So on US 30, based on what we saw yesterday, you saw there was a massive fall on US 30 yesterday. Yes, there was a news that came out on US the NFP that came out yesterday, and that also affected the move. That was why it dropped to this point, came down to the support, pulled up, and now around the same zone again. It's still around the same zone again. So this is it. Looking at it based on what we're saying, yeah. If price is able to break below this point, we could expect a continuation in that bearish move. But if it respects this zone, it gets to this point and respects this zone, we could have a reversal back to the upside. So that's that on US 30. It's one of the two. Either it breaks below this point or it reverses back. Sorry. The analysis I just did was on US 2000, please. I'm sorry. Yeah, so this is on US 2000. It came down to this point and it respected this point as a result of the news of yesterday. Yes, you can see the long candles. Now it's coming back to the test that point. So one of the two will happen. Either it breaks below or it reverses back to the upside. Yes. So let's look at the S&P 500. S&P 500. Okay, so S&P 500 is also giving us the same vibes as US 2000. So we just mark out this area of risks. This is our zone point. Yes. So one of the two will happen. Either it breaks below or it respects this point. Now, whichever direction it peaks, after that, we can then follow. Now, I want to feel all the US stocks, yeah, they are giving all the same vibes and the same thing. Their move is almost, if not the same, you understand, as of what is happening. And yes, I feel it's the same because they've all experienced the US shutdown and the whole thing has affected them one way or the other. And look at it, on US 100 is also giving us the same structure too, the same structure. So we'll just be waiting to see, is it going to continue in that line or not? Yeah, so price could struggle around this point and reverse back up. But one of the two is going to happen today. Ours is to monitor it and say, once it meets our requirements, we take it and we move with it. US 30, also the same thing. It's giving us the same move, giving us the same move. So let's just watch out and see for all these instruments based on the zones where they are. Is it going to break below it or above? One of the two. Once it takes, we move. Then the last instrument we're looking at or the index market is DE40. Let's look at DE40. What is happening on DE40? What's happening on DE40? DE42 also came down yesterday, and as we can see, yes, K pushed down to this point yesterday, and as of this morning, currently it is ranging, So, and we always give us the information that for a ranging market, they are known as correction zones. So the main thing is you will hold on for that market to pick a direction. Once it picks a direction, then you follow. That's the main thing. So let's hold on and see what price really wants to do. Once it picks a direction, then we follow. So that's that on DE40. All right. So as of this moment, we've come to the end of today's money market review. Hopefully, this week is going to be like today being Friday and the last day of the week is going to be an interesting day for us. We're going to be making some good profits for ourselves. Yeah. Hopefully that happens. So have a lovely week ahead. Bye for now.